Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I had a very hectic and busy weekend, therefore I'm a bit behind with my Alliance War videos, so we're going to do two wars in this one video yet again. It's going to be New Nation against X5E as war number 10, and war number 11 is New Nation against for Loki. So against X5E, war number 10, I'm using Human Torch, CGR, and Nimrod. So here we can see that I'm going to be starting on path 9 like I quite frequently do, and this is going to be a perfect chance for me to take my new rank 4 CGR for a ride. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put on a Cosmic Boost. I do have full Liquid Courage Double Edge, I believe, here spec'd from my Arena grind for Scorpion, but the strategy, as always, is simple. Parry Heavy, parry, finish combo with the Light, finish combo with the medium, going to level 2, and happy days. Here, it didn't matter that I didn't spec half a Recall Mastery Tree, but I also have Liquid Courage here, because I would have debuffs on me anyways, so it didn't really change much in that department. Here we can see that first level 2 puts him at 30% health and gives me full back 3 bars of power. Unfortunately, he drops his level 1 immediately, which is kind of cheeky, even though I was holding block, or I think I was holding block. But as soon as I get to level 3, the job is done, and that is one dead null, which is awesome. Right, moving further, we're going to be dealing with this next Hazard Shift node, which has Wolverine Weapon X. On SWAT U, and we have Hazard Shift, Incinerate Poison, Power Focus 1, Feats of Indestructible, but none of it really matters because we have Nimrod. And when you use Nimrod against these guys, by these guys I mean mutant champions in general, then, you know, it doesn't matter too much what nodes are there in most cases. So here we can start by parrying a whole bunch, because I do want to wait for the Incinerate phase to be over. Now I can drop a heavy attack, and I can just start bashing him a bit, nullifying his regens. Now, unfortunately, here he immediately threw his level 1, so kind of need to dance in a corner a bit. I get sacked, like hit a bit, but as you can see, Nimrod barely feels it. Now, again, he's in Incinerate phase, so I'm trying to wait that one out, which is like a bit annoying, but it's all good. At the very least, he's not unblockable anymore. Now, Poison phase is here, and I can just drop my special attack, and with that, the party is over, where this Wolverine Weapon X overstayed his welcome. Now, then I did, in fact, have to respec my masteries, because I'm going to be going up against Wong here, and also has that Schadenfreude node. So if I have a debuff on me, he gains like a massive fury, and that can turn dangerous. I'm not saying that you cannot do this with Liquid Courage Double Edge spec on, but it's definitely much more safe to do it without. Now, Wong can be somewhat annoying defender if his AI doesn't really want to cooperate with you, so I will put on an indestructible 3 boost here, which is going to carry over for the next fight as well. Season's coming to an end. If I'm not using them now, then when? And the base idea here is quite simple. I just want to, well, I'm using my Nova Flames, obviously, whilst the Incinerate phase is on. We're just going to start clapping down the guy, and then when it's Poison phase, just wait it out. He ate massive amount of power sting damage, and that's actually it. That's a rank 4 boosted Human Torch for you. So this fight looked much more dangerous on paper. In reality, it was 12 hits. Sweet. I mean, no complaints here. That's why you rank 4 Human Torch, and that's why Human Torch is probably going to be banned straight up 2 out of 3 seasons, because Human Torch is just a bit insane, especially when you have no flames on. Now, this next fight actually is a bit scary. Scarier than initially it seemed, because here we have superior specials, and that means that she's going to have Promise, which means it's going to hurt quite a bit to get hit by those special attacks. And then you also have the Wong's pre-fight, so she's going to start with a Fury and a power gain, so she automatically gets to a bar of power. That Wong's pre-fight actually makes this fight much more dangerous, because now basically, yeah, she immediately had a special attack, now she threw it, and as soon as she throws the first special attack, we're starting to gain buffs and debuffs, and the fight kind of goes quite crazy here. So I don't mind pushing her to level 2 here, as long as I know that I only had 1 buff on, but look at that block damage here already. Luckily, at this point, I have 13 smolders, and obviously the fight is going to be well under control here. There's pretty much nothing to worry about. She's using another level 1, fine. and job's done. But there was some serious block damage in that fight. And then later on in the day, I just needed to come back and finish off this apocalypse once I got some energy. Didn't matter too much. I think I still had some boost on from arena grind because I was doing quite a hard grind. I didn't want to take any chances. But here it's going to be Nimrod against APOC. And again, we all know how these fights typically turn out. So here I switched into my Blitz protocol slightly too early because I'm only at 8 charges here. So I just decided to, I'm just going to go for level 2 and let's see how that level 2 does. Now I need to bait out that level special attack from APOC, and he didn't seem to be too willing to throw it. It's fine, we're just going to take it in a block. Nimrod's obviously an absolute chad of a tank. Get a drop a full combo, nullify his prowesses, use my own level 2, and that is one dead apocalypse. And this war, it was very close for a really long time, but in the end we kind of ended up taking it relatively confidently. So war number 10 is a W, and at that point we are looking quite good. Now the next war is against For Loki, and For Loki and New Nation always had kind of like an interesting rivalry where since I joined New Nation, I don't think we have ever lost to For Loki, but every single war is super tight. And this one was absolutely no exception. Basically by the time we woke up, we were tied, and For Loki was ahead in exploration. We were ahead on time. So if we finish map, fine. If we finish our map well, we win. If we die once, we lose. They still had a fair amount of fights to do as well, so they obviously could have made some more mistakes past this point, but I'm going to explain exactly how that war ended in a bit. Here I'm using Thing, and what else was there? And I'm using Thing, Nimrod, and Dr. Doom. It was kind of funny because my officer actually assigned me Rintra on offense, forgetting that I need to use Rintra on defense. So I had to alter the plan a bit, but it's all part of the game. So here on path 2, I'm going to be using Thing for the Green Goblin. And the reason for that is because obviously in these hit counter Fury nodes, Thing is just insane. As long as you do not have to deal with opponents putting some persistent damage or time effects on you or something like that, Thing is basically immortal. You don't use special attacks, and you want opponent to gain as many Furies as possible because you will trigger protection every single time you make contact with the opponent due to the amount of Furies they have. In this case, I didn't take off my Liquid Courage Double Edge, also kind of on purpose, because when your protection is being up pretty much the entire fight, that Liquid Courage poison debuff on you just serves as a nice willpower heal. And that is it. This isn't the quickest fight by any means, but as we can see, I am at 100% health. I don't really care what happens too much in this fight. Even when I make a mistake, it's not like I'm going to have to eat a full combo. I'm going to go unstoppable, and life's beautiful. Now, it's important to know which matchups Thing does and does not work for, because there are some champions that Thing can't really take, or at the very least, I should say, it's extremely risky for Thing to do this. But if it is a matchup that Thing can do, it's almost impossible to die. So this is one of those times when the in-depth in-game knowledge is super important. Now, he has 52 Furies, but he just don't care. He's throwing his level 2. I actually get hit by that level 2, but as we can see, I just go unstoppable and protection triggers, and life's nice. Life's good. It just took a while. So next up, I need to defeat Legacy's Wolverine Weapon X. And again, just like in previous war, when you have Nimrod, you don't really care about Weapon X or pretty much any other mutant. Like, there is Bishop that you don't ideally want to fight with Nimrod. And that's kind of about it, I think, pretty much. So here I'm going to drop my level 1, enter my Eradicate protocol. Now he gets his 25 charges, that's fine, whatever. He's getting power drained, I just need to kind of wait it out. I can obviously, well, I don't actually need to wait it out past this point. I can go and start smacking him. If he gains a few Furies, I don't really care about it. Here, unfortunately, I was a bit too passive, and I didn't notice that I got myself out of Eradicate protocol, but as soon as I got level 2, the fight is over, and again, you know, You do take some scrapes against Wolverine Weapon X now and then, but it really doesn't matter too much. And next up, I am going to Path 8, and we're going to be taking Enzo's Storm Pyramid X on Rich Get Richer and whatnot. And it's another mutant. I could possibly, probably, maybe, if I really wanted to, use Dr. Doom here, but there's no reason. We have Nimrod. We have a rank 4, 6200 Nimrod. And life will be fine. So it also has Rich Get Richer node, and that is actually helping me, or it's neutral, because Storm Pyramid X can only gain precision buffs, and Nimrod obviously gains precision buffs, sorry, armor buffs, but he also gains energize, and he also gains unstoppable, and he also gains precision whenever I dex. So for vast majority of this fight, I'm actually getting the benefit of Rich Get Richer node. And here, unfortunately, she doesn't take shock damage, but that's fine. We don't care about that too much. And I'm just going to build up to my level 3. Nimrod's level 3, I feel, is kind of underestimated. Nimrod's level 3 makes him viable in shock immune matchups, I would say. It's not the fastest way how to deal with the fights, but if opponent is shock immune, then his level 3 can bypass that shock immunity with his secondary damage. And as you can see, there was quite a lot of damage there. I think it's cut off. Can we see? It was like 32k plus 95k. So that level 3 actually did 127,000 damage, which is like not bad at all. Plus it also triggered regeneration. Obviously it was more than enough to destroy that storm. And then I have last fight to do here, which is Cersei, which is the fight that I was originally meant to use Rintra. But I'm going to be using Dr. Doom, because I'm taking this fight after the boss is down. Don't need to worry about Conduit. I will put on that invulnerability boost, even though I probably shouldn't have bothered, because I'm kind of running low on them, but we only have one ward left after this, so everything's pretty much perfectly fine according to the plan. And here the plan is just to basically parry heavy level 3. That's it. Don't want to deal with her glancing, will never deal with her glancing, so just let her use her special attacks, just parry heavy. In that way, whenever the glancing would trigger, it gets automatically staggered. And now I have level 3, and that level 3 is obviously going to do plenty of damage, and this is going to be pretty much rinse repeat. I'm just going to do parry, heavy, happy days. I should have went in there to attack, but I also don't really want to push her at level 2. Now, unfortunately, I do take a couple of light slaps there, trying to bait out that special. Everything's fine. Now I do need to get in a parry heavy, and I used my level 3, I think, just in time not to lose my Fury, which is perfect. So she's going to go from 52% health to 21% health, so we did like 30% of her health as damage there. Again, I'm just kind of wanting to get out that level 2. I think this time I'm going to let my aura expire, or not, maybe, no, never mind. And this level 3 is going to be an absolute overkill. So very straightforward, parry heavy Doom fight. I know that's not typically how you run Doom, but this is just mega safe, especially against Cersei. And that was it. That was my last fight in this war. Now, unfortunately, we did end up losing the For Loki war by 1 death. Basically, it was 5-5 for quite a long time. And again, they were ahead in exploration, but behind on time. And we had to clear pretty much perfectly. And unfortunately, we didn't. We had an annoying death. So it finished up 5-6. For Loki didn't get KO'd with the remaining nodes either. And that means that For Loki got us this time. But we'll do our best to get them back next time. So we only have 1 ward left, and then finally it's going to be season rewards time. The way it currently looks, we are probably finishing in Masters top 10, which is, you know, perfectly reasonable. Unfortunately, we're not getting to that top 3, but there's always the next season. On a personal level, I died once at the very first war when I was on holiday, and that was a very stupid and silly death. And aside from that, I'm actually having a fairly decent season. So let me know how you guys are doing currently in Alliance War. How's your season going? And I will catch you guys later. See ya. proceed with hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next